Now, I've already apologized to the parents over and over again. I don't apologize to you.
Objection.
Don't apologize to you.
Attorney Norm Pattis called it strategic.
We thought it was vicious and uncalled for and gratuitous.
But at the same time, the plaintiff's attorneys called for a recess to determine how they'd orchestrate the rest of the day.
You think I could book that for like the weekend of the 14th when the soundtrack comes out? If so, bump somebody. All right, thanks. I love you, man. Bye. I got my MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
And you're confident on these cases. You don't think you're going to be behind a defendant table throughout the entire campaign, crippled and unable to campaign?
You know, if I am, it's going to show what a fake deal it all is. It's all fake. It's all just fake stuff.
Do you want it televised?
In order to interfere with the election. This was election interference at the highest level.
One person responsible for this nightmare, and he's acknowledged and he brags about it, Donald Trump.
Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce traveled with the president. Good morning, Mary.
2020 rape conviction against former media mogul Harvey Weinstein was thrown out by New York's highest court today.
Now to another big headline. Arizona's governor plans to sign a bill today repealing a 160-year-old abortion ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Patriot News Hour with your host, Joshua Kapia, the independent with conservative values, fighting the liberals, protecting the homeland from terrorists, domestic and foreign. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. We're going to tell the truth. They want to suppress the information. They want to spread the lies, but we're holding everyone accountable. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Patriot News Hour. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're live here in the Patriot News Hour. We're back in the saddle, back in the hot seat. We're firing on all cylinders. We have so much to talk about today, from Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Did He Do It? So much going on in the news with him and what he's done in his flavor camp, whatever you want to call it. Justin Bieber, what's going on with Usher. We have what's going on with President Donald Trump. Everything's fake news from Joe Biden. Inflation's really not happening right now, even though we got a reduction in employment numbers. It seems that employment's going up. Hiring is even lessening. I mean, you got Harvey Weinstein out there. I can go on and on and on. We are jam-packed today, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, feel free to support the show. Click on the link below. Anything helps. It keeps the gas in the car, it keeps the lights on, it keeps the power running, ladies and gentlemen. So let's talk about this Sean Puffy Combs thing. You know, I was sitting there one day, and this stuff just pops on the news on what he's doing to people, what he's doing to Justin Bieber, what he's doing to Cassidy. And the stuff is just absolutely insane. From the allegations of him raping women, from the allegations of these sex parties he was happening. And the reason why I'm talking about this today, ladies and gentlemen, is because Sean Puffy Combs must have knew some very, very, very powerful people. And people are speculating that these sex parties, these orgies he was having, did he have politicians there? Did he have judges there? Did he have certain powerful people in certain positions there that got him off the hook for a lot of his criminal activity? There are individuals that said that he had a camera set up around the house, one of his bodyguards. And so he recorded all the information on video, that is, and he got video basically to blackmail some of the highest people. I mean, between Sean Puffy Combs, between Harvey Weinstein, and Jeffrey Epstein, I mean, this is the trifecta of demonism here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, when did we start letting in America these people get so out of control that they can just do whatever we want? What they want, I should say. I mean, you have the Meek Mill situation. It's reported he never paid his people. So he did all these record deals and he basically kept all of their rights, kept all of their money, having Mace work for free. This is just absolutely fascinating, and it's absolutely reprehensible. I've been in the music industry for a little bit. I mean, I've done a lot of work. I've put out a few CDs. We'll get into that later. I've done hip hop. I've done R&B. I've done a lot of things across the panacea, ladies and gentlemen. And the record industry has always been really, really sleazy. And it pretty much remains sleazy to this day. The same as Hollywood. It's like you have this upper echelon of individuals that aren't accountable to anything or anyone. And not just that, there's so much money flowing through these institutions, these record companies, and these big business individuals that politicians seem to be tied to them, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at the scandal. And I have a question to ask. This Jeffrey Epstein thing, so he just hung himself? The cameras weren't working, ladies and gentlemen. And where is the list that was supposed to be produced of everybody that was on his flights and everybody that went to his island? And I'm talking about the actual real list, not the made up one, if you know what I mean. So what we're going to do right now, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to switch over to some sound bites on Sean Puffy Combs. Did he do it? AKA Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him. He has a million names. And then we'll provide some commentary and have a general conversation about it when I come back. So go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, light your cigars, get your glass of cognac ready for the news. Are you ready?
A dramatic situation happening as we speak in both LA and Miami Beach at the homes of Sean Diddy Combs. You know him as Diddy, formerly Puff Daddy, big-time rapper, big-time producer, big-time superstar, and now the feds at his houses in both locations. This is a live look right now. On the left, that's West Coast, that's LA. On the right, that's Miami Beach you're looking at. I want to show you in just the last couple of minutes in LA, agents holding what look to be guns as they walk into the home, as they enter the home. And you can see some of the apparatus there that they've brought. I want to get to Dana Griffin, who is following this for us now. Why is this happening? What do we know?
Hallie, still, as you mentioned, this is a developing story, so we're learning new details minute by minute. NBC News has confirmed that this is a raid being conducted by Homeland Security and that the warrant specifically came out of the Southern District of New York. Now, we believe this is tied to sex trafficking allegations. There's an investigation into claims that that the rapper may have been involved in this. So we believe this is connected to that. But obviously, what a split screen moment here to see investigations not only in Miami, but also Los Angeles, which shows that this was very coordinated and planned. And remember, when it comes to warrants, these aren't things that are just, done haphazardly. This had to be signed by a judge. So this was obviously very methodical. And this is a sprawling home here in California. This is located in the Holmby Hills area, a very wealthy area. That home that we can see from that sky cam is massive, sprawling, and we don't know exactly what they are looking for. It could be something as small as a USB drive, or it could be several boxes of documents that could prove his guilt or prove his innocence. So, and you mentioned those guns that we saw law enforcement carrying. It sounds like that's pretty routine because they're going into a home. It's a huge home. It's not secured. But from what we have seen on the ground and from local reports, that this was a very easy entry. There was no sort of violence or any sort of skirmish inside the home. So the weapons that you may have seen there are probably just cautionary. Again, this could take several hours considering that these are two separate homes in two different locations. So we're waiting to get more details, and we're still trying to figure out where exactly P. Diddy is located. No one has been able to confirm that at this hour.
So that was going to be my other question, Dana, is where is he now? I mean, we don't know is the short answer, huh?
He could be anywhere, assuming that he's not here in Los Angeles, because we saw from that chopper video several people that were taken out of the home. Some appear to be in handcuffs, and that is customary when you're doing a raid. They want to check everyone out, make sure everyone who they say they are. We have not seen any images of P. Diddy, which shows that he may not be in his Miami or his Los Angeles home, but I'm sure over the next several minutes and hours, we will get more details.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's so much going on here with Sean Puffy Combs. And I want to read an article, some excerpts from NBC News. It's dated April 4, 2024 by Diana Dashrath. Los Angeles. Sean Diddy Combs, who is subject to a federal sex trafficking investigation, has been named as a defendant in a new lawsuit that alleges his son sexually assaulted a woman while she was working on a yacht the music mogul had chartered for a trip at the end of 2022. The allegation is the latest in a wave of lawsuits accusing Combs, 54, of sexual assault, sexual trafficking, and engaging in other criminal activities. He has denied all the allegations, calling them sickening. In the suit filed Thursday in Los Angeles County Superior Court, Grace O. McCraig alleges that Christian Combs, which is his son, 26, sexually assaulted her in late December 2022 while she was working on a boat charter that had been sold as a wholesome family excursion but turned into a hedonistic environment. Now think about that, ladies and gentlemen. They go out, they rent a yacht, and there had to be some premeditation there to get on the water and to basically have these superstar charged orgies on the ocean, on the lake, kind of moving it from the mansion to the lake. And this woman's claiming he sexually assaulted her, which was Sean Combs' son, Christian Combs. The alleged assault happened just days before Sean Combs hosted a New Year's Eve yacht party with a long list of celebrity guests. Now, this is the thing we were just talking about. Who are these celebrity guests? Because the individual that basically made comment that was sexually harassed and violated said that it's a hedonistic event, meaning that all rules are off, all malice, all macabre, everybody welcome aboard, right, to the Satanic Express. So Christian Combs is accused of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and infliction of emotional distress in the lawsuit. Sean Combs is being sued for premises liability as the person who chartered the yacht and for aiding and abetting his son in the alleged assault. It doesn't really go on too much for there, but aiding and abetting, I take that as because he was held liable and signed all the paperwork to get that yacht on the water, and it was actually his party. So let's just go on and look at what their attorney said. A lawyer for the father and son called Thursday's suit lewd and meritless and said it was filled with the same kind of manufactured lies and irreverent facts we've come to expect from McCraig's lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn. Now, this is the interesting thing. If you look at R. Kelly, it's kind of the same thing, right? They get power. They become their own god. In a sense, they have infinite money. They build these entourages up, these people that assist them, that come out on the news later, that come out on YouTube. They get paid. They sell them out in a sense, but they were the ones standing by, watching all the lewd behavior, watching children get violated, but they didn't seem to mind because they were in his entourage getting paid. Now the dominoes are falling and people are basically jumping ship, jumping off the boat and pointing every finger at Sean Puffy Combs and his family. And this is relevant, and this was bound to happen. You could only do so many things for so long until it catches up with you. And here in the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. But there's so many people coming out and making these allegations. So let's continue with the article. Like father, like son, Blackburn said Thursday night after the suit was filed. It gives us no joy or pleasure in filing the suit against Christian Combs,
who has clearly adopted his father's pattern and practice of depravity. And it's just really sad that it happened to this degree, that his sons are basically taking part in a lot of the activities, a lot of the things that Sean Puffy Combs did. It's just catching up to the whole family. It's ripping the whole family apart. So if we read about the victim here, Oma Craig, who was 25 at the time of the alleged assault, worked as a steward providing dinner and drink service on the yacht from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and witnessed partying and drug use between a constant rotation of suspected sex workers and celebrities. The suit states she also alleges in the complaint that she suspected bottles of alcohol were laced with drugs because women begin to fall over themselves, panic, or pass out after one drink. This is complete madness if you look at this. I mean, it brings back memories of Bill Cosby. And I was talking to an individual lately, and basically these are predatory acts. Now, statistically, 1 out of every 5 people basically is a psychopath, and they have psychopathic tendencies. But a very small minority of these individuals act out based on their psychopathy. But it seems like when these individuals get power, when they get fame, when they get money, they almost get away with anything they want for many, many years because they're insulated, they're protected. You got superstar celebrity status. You have politicians in your pocket. You're probably paying off judges and everything else in between. And if you really look at it, this says it all right here. He laced drinks. Women begin to fall over. Bill Cosby taking women to hotel rooms, raping them when they were on drugs, slipping them all of these narcotics. And this guy isn't even in prison for the rest of his life. I'm sorry to say it, but many, 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 many times justice is not served in this country. And even watching Dateline and 48 Hours and a lot of these crime shows, because I am a crime buff, me and my wife will hang out, watch them on the couch for hours at a time. And sometimes I look at that TV, ladies and gentlemen, and I say, the last place where I would want my freedom determined is in some of these juries, because they get it wrong at least 50% of the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pan over, and I want you to listen on Puff Daddy's ethics and how he paid the individuals that work for him, not giving them their rights, not giving them their money. And I want you to hear it from them themselves, and then we'll kind of cut this short a little bit and jump around to some other things because we got a very busy show. So I only have one question for you, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready?
What's up?
Yo, check this out, man. The last time y'all did this, man, y'all did the whole campaign, let the locks go and all that. Y'all ain't want to be down with Bad Boy, so we let y'all go. Y'all want to be down with us, we let y'all go, we keep it moving. But to get on there and portray like somebody got to go and steal and rob and be shysting y'all, that ain't really correct, you know what I'm saying? First of all, I'm at my office right now. I'm always accessible. Y'all ain't got to get on the radio and do certain tactics and do certain things to ever holler at me. Jadakiss, last time I saw you, I told you, let's get together, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? I told you I'm accessible. I said if anything don't come, if there's somebody standing in the way for you expressing yourself, if any of y'all expressing yourself, y'all can come get at me directly. You know what I'm saying? All that throwing the refrigerator and you going to kill, y'all ain't killing nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? We businessmen. We all mature adults. Say all that right there. I'm at my office. Y'all can sit on this interview with her and talk as long as y'all want to talk about it. Or you can take the invitation I gave you before. But it's not even getting there because of your get on the radio, whatever tactics. I ain't your enemy.
Dog, we just
you need to bang like that on cats that's coming at you. I ain't your enemy.
Just yesterday we got a note from your office saying you don't have no idea of none of this or nothing.
Just yesterday, your lawyer told us that.
I see you at the show backstage. You said find out what it was.
But don't sit here and portray like Puff took nothing from y'all.
Puffy, what is it? What is it? What do you call it?
If
what
it's
do you
10
call
years
it?
and
What do you call it? And don't say we can come to your office or do none of that, because we can't do none of that. We can't handle it no other way but with lawyers, and you know that, so don't get on the radio and act like a tough guy or none of that.
Wait, you know how we can settle?
You acting tough.
I'm in my office, so why don't we stop talking on the radio?
No, you want people to stop talking because you just don't want to know the truth, dog. We made one record with you. Money, Power, Respect. It's 10 years later, and you still got half of our publishing. Now, there's no way you can make it justifiable that you said you deserve half of our publishing.
You to my face. We just at the concert. You ain't saying nothing.
What are we going to do saying it to your face? Get sued? What do you want us to do? We can't touch. We can't be violent or none of that. We can't even have.
If you're saying all this, dog, 2 years ago, levels in Miami.
You're saying this for nothing, man.
Recognize real. Y'all know where the office is at. There's a big sign on it. I'm gonna be there.
The whole National Guard's downstairs too. Cut it out, man. We can't talk
in this. I'm a grown ass man, man.
You're a coward.
And I don't take nothing.
You're a thief,
You're a coward.
Don't say you're a thief.
Okay.
You're a
Come to
thief.
the office, man. Come to the office so we can straighten it out there.
Yo, how we just 3 guys you don't even mess with. You had your Ace Boone publishing.
You call me whatever you
won't
want.
let his publishing
I'm
go.
at the office.
You won't let your man's publishing go.
You gonna argue in front of New York. That's the way you want.
Do you own your man's publishing,
Nobody
dog?
did nothing to y'all, man.
Do you own your man's publishing?
New York could believe it or whatever. I don't
Do
really
you
care.
own your man's publishing?
I can sleep good at night because I ain't never did nothing to y'all. And if y'all ever want
Dog, you had a whole bunch of artists that
Puffy.
Dog, you had a bunch of artists whose careers never went right with you, dog. Be for real, dog. Look at the list. Look at your list.
We don't want to be violent.
You the artist that did best for yourself. Look at your list, dog. Look at all the artists you dealt with. Look at the situation they dealt with. 112 not happy with you gone. Faith not happy with you gone. We not happy with you gone. Bass not happy with you gone.
Wow. All right, he's hung up. He's gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from yourself. There's so much going on with Sean Puffy Combs in the news. From not giving people their royalties, for withholding their publishing on them so they can't get paid. On top of that, there's even speculation that he's put quite a few hits out on people. There's speculation he got Tupac Shakur killed, that he got Notorious Big killed, and that people that run into him and cross him, they end up basically buried 6 feet deep. There's allegations that he killed his wife when they found her in a lake on his property, that he tried to blow up Kid Cudi's car. It goes on and on and on. And this is a big deal because if you look at the Jeffrey Epstein type behavior, the R. Kelly type behavior, it's taking so long to bring these individuals to justice, or even the day of court that they should have. Now, they have enough information and they have enough evidence to make an arrest on him already. But the thing of it is the FBI, the police department, they want to make sure they do it right so they don't drop the ball. So you got to ask yourself this question, why am I basically incorporating Sean Puffy Combs in the news? I mean, think about the politicians he's tied to. Think about the judges he's tied to. Think about all the celebrities he's tied to. I mean, you want to talk about deep state here. I mean, this is a whole nother level. I mean, I can't even imagine what's really going on behind the scenes in Hollywood and in the music industry. It's pretty bad when this stuff goes on for so long and so many accusations of rape, murder, and just hedonistic practices being practiced basically, and nothing's happening. So finally, we're going to be seeing some activity manifest itself, and we're going to have to stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated. But we're going to switch gears right now because we really need to. And I want to talk about Donald Trump. And it gets so interesting when you deal with Donald. He's an interesting character, right? Everything is fake news. And the guy literally insults everybody, and he seems to get away with it for so long. Everybody knows I'm not a huge fan of Trump. I'm not a huge fan of Biden. I consider myself an independent with conservative values. In the United States of America, I just believe we can do so much better. I sit back and I think to myself, day in and day out, how did we get to this point in the United States of America that these are the people we are electing? Like, for instance, Donald Trump is accused of basically sexually assaulting women, 19 women the last time I read. That was a while back, so it could even be more. Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, the cocaine incident, basically the stuff on his laptop. And I don't know what was on his laptop, but allegations were made of child pornography, drugs, tax evasion, deals with China. You hear these things and you ask yourself constantly as an American, how did we get to this point? Yeah, we had Watergate, we had scandals in the past, we had the Vietnam War, but the personal lives of presidents were basically, they were more, it seemed like the oath of office and the Oval Office that the morality was so much more prominent back then, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe it was hidden better. Maybe social media, maybe technology is just bringing it all out. But it just blows my mind, the situation we're in and the people that are running in this country. And I'm going to be completely honest because I'm not going to hold back, ladies and gentlemen, on the Patriot News Hour. I'm telling thousands of you that are listening right now, I even sit back and watch, and everything's rigged, and the elections are rigged, and the Democrats would throw that at the Republicans would throw that at the Democrats. And I go, well, how do we even trust the process then? And I was talking to one individual just recently, a good friend of mine, and I said, if that's the case and everything's rigged, then what's the point of trying to get anything right? Because it's kind of like we're in the Matrix. Nothing's ever going to be fixed. I don't think things are rigged. I really don't, not to that degree. There could be some corruption on both sides. I just think that things have gone so out of control, they spiraled so out of control, that common sense needs to be injected back in politics, ladies and gentlemen. So what I want to do right now is I want to cut to some sound bites to Donald Trump. And then after these sound bites, we'll add some commentary and just talk about it, So sit back, grab your cognac, and just enjoy the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
I'd like to welcome the fake news media, which is back there. There's a lot of people back there. We have a lot of big races going on right now. So enjoy that, enjoy the food, and enjoy everything. And really, in all fairness, it is a great honor to have the media with us. And we hope you enjoy yourself and this wonderful group of people.
We're hearing for the first time from inside the courtroom with MSNBC chief legal correspondent Ari Melber, host of The Beat, and he's just made his way out. Okay, give us your big takeaways, Ari.
Well, this was obviously one of the most significant patches of testimony we've had about the underlying incidents. You had defendant Trump sitting there in court as questions were asked about whether, as they put it in court, does Melania know, quote unquote, that he had this affair? Did this happen, quote unquote, during the marriage? Referring to those texts as Keith Davidson, the lawyer for Karen McDougal, spoke to Dylan Howard, the tabloid senior publisher figure, about the nature of this story. So I think this was by far one of the most intense court days for the defendant. And clearly, from my view, just to tell you, in the room, I could see the side of the defendant's face as he kind of watched it. He largely looked composed or even nonplussed at times during what was obviously a striking or dramatic moment. I also had a view of the jury, and while we're careful about not describing them in detail, as a general matter, the jury appeared very attentive, very rapt, very focused on what was a very eventful set of facts or allegations put forward. And then we also had, of course, as I think you were covering, video of then candidate Trump played so the jury could take that in. So really, it was quite an active couple hours.
Let me ask you, too, about the relationship, as you viewed it, between Todd Blanche, his key lawyer, and Donald Trump himself, because there was a large story in the New York Times today about how Trump is getting frustrated. We've seen this before, right? In the past with Donald Trump, he wants his lawyers to do what he's going to do. There's this push and pull. How do you appease your client, but also do what you think is going to get your client acquitted? Did you see anything telling between the two of them?
Well, they were conversing almost like normal today is how I would describe it. This is, as you know, a defendant who's much more actively involved in the vast majority.
We have a problem internally. I have a problem here.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? All right, I'm going to keep going. I heard Chris ask about the microphone, but I'm being told I can be heard, hopefully. I was going to say we could see Defendant Trump, who's much more active than most defendants in the legal setting, speaking, having sidebars. At one point, I could see his lawyer, Blanche, kind of covering his mouth so that the internal cameras that are used inside the court might not pick up anything, but he was having back and forths with Defendant Trump. And we also could see, again, from inside the courtroom, Mr. Trump going up and down the aisle in both times. And he looked very stern, as he has in other days, but perhaps one might say he looked particularly stern today. So we would see those kind of interactions with his lawyers. And Blanche was doing the normal stuff today. I mean, they had stuff in front of the jury, but they also had stuff without the jury, talking about planning and scheduling. And so to the extent that we're kind of looking for tea leaves about their relationship, it didn't seem to me like an abnormal day for their interactions.
Let me go back to the jury, if I can, for a second, and we're going to talk more about this going forward, which is sort of the story that you have to build as a prosecutor, right? And the fact that they brought in a couple of people that maybe they didn't need to. They could have just said, the defense could have said, you know what, we're going to say it's okay. You don't need to bring the guy in from C-SPAN. We're going to accept this to come in. But is there any point at which you saw the jury lost attention? Sometimes when you start talking about things like documents and people who are not as exciting maybe as the other folks have been, do the jurors seem engaged, and are they still taking notes?
They're taking notes. They did appear engaged, and that seemed to be the case for both of sort of the morning sessions, the first session and then the post-break session, where we had that more dramatic testimony about the dealings with McDougal, about the quote-unquote affair and those questions and those old texts. So I didn't detect, again, from watching, and I had a pretty clear view from the second row of the jury, I didn't detect them totally tuning out. That said, you're absolutely right that as cases drag on, the whole reason that sometimes you come to stipulations with the other side is to avoid doing what you did today, where you sort of have someone from C-SPAN, which all of our viewers know, we love C-SPAN, but you have someone there really for chain of custody purposes saying, yes, this is really the right tape, yes, this really is Donald Trump. And if the jury doesn't know, they don't know why it's getting so boring, right? They don't know necessarily the backstory of that, but they've been instructed by the judge, and in my experience, jurors tend to follow this. When the judge says, hey, there are reasons we're doing this, they relate to accuracy and fairness, we're not trying to waste your time. The judges put it in more formal language, but basically, yeah, we got to have these people in so you know the video you're looking at, the text you're looking at, this is all legit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this gets so interesting, and a lot of people might be listening to this, and they might not be politically astute, and they might be saying, what the H-E double hockey sticks is going on over here? So I want to read an article from the AP. Hope Hicks, ex-Trump advisor, recounts fear in 2016 campaign over impact of Access Hollywood tape. So we might be saying, hey, why are we here revisiting 2016? I want you to get an overall image of Donald Trump, what's going on, why is this relevant, the history of it. And so maybe reading this article from the AP, it was updated on May 3rd, 2024, maybe things will make a little bit more sense, right? So New York AP, Donald Trump's 2016 campaign was seized with worry about the political damage from a tape that showed him bragging about grabbing women sexually without their permission. Longtime Trump advisor Hope Hicks testified Friday at his hush money trial. Hicks, a former White House official, was compelled to testify by Manhattan prosecutors who are hoping her remarks bolster their argument that the uproar over the infamous Access Hollywood tape hastened Trump's then lawyer to pay off porn actor Stormy Daniels to bury a negative story that could imperil his 2016 presidential bid. Now, this is going to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to play the soundbite from Access Hollywood when I'm done with this, and I will let you judge from yourself. Now, it fascinates me that Trump has this gravitational pull to a lot of women. And I'm just going to be objective here, and I'm not going to be biased or subjective. And a lot of these women will support him. They will vote for him. They love him. And usually when I get in a conversation about Trump, they go, well, Biden, well, the Democrats. And I always remind people I'm not a Democrat or Republican. But after I read this article, and after you hear these sound bites, I got one question. Would you want to send Donald Trump on a date with your daughter? I will let you answer that question for yourself. So let's continue reading, ladies and gentlemen. Once one of Trump's closest confidants, Hicks provided a window into the chaotic fallout over the tape's release just days before a crucial debate with Democrat Hillary Clinton. And by no means I am a fan of Hillary, just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen. It was recorded in 2005, but was not seen by the public until October 7th, 2016, about a month before Election Day. Hicks described being stunned and huddled with other Trump advisors after learning about the tape's existence from the Washington Post reporter who broke the story. Hicks forwarded the reporter's request to campaign leadership with the recommendation to deny, she said. And it's amazing. It's like you can literally get caught with your pants down on camera or in a soundbite, and it's like deny. This is how insane our politics have gotten, right? That you can be caught with your hand in the proverbial cookie jar, so to speak, and you still get off the hook. So let's continue reading. I had a good sense to believe this was going to be a massive story and that it was going to dominate the news cycle for the next several days, Hicks testified. This was a demanding development. She added, this was just pulling us backwards in a way that was going to be hard to overcome. Prosecutors called her to the witness stand to strengthen their case, alleging Trump worked to prevent damaging stories about his personal life from becoming public as part of a scheme to legally influence the 2016 presidential election. Now, there we go right there. So the Democrats, the DA or whoever's in on this, they're making the allegations that Trump is working hard to prevent these stories coming out. And he's not being honest, and he's taking he's basically running for president, and he's trying to suppress information, right? I truly believe that when you're running for an office as significant as a president of the United States of America, everything is relevant. I mean, you don't want your banker, your babysitter, you don't want the individual at daycare having a really shady past. You don't even want to work for a supervisor or a manager that has a real shady past, because them things matter to us, right? You're not going to get an ROI, return on investment, so to speak. And, you know, it can really harm you financially. It can really harm your faith. It can really harm the relationship and the status of trust between both individuals. And our president of the United States of America, we have to be able to trust them, right? The president represents the nation, and we instill these individuals in office because we believe they are going to enact the American people's interest and their wishes. So let's go on with this, okay? So the article is basically saying he's trying to suppress the information, right? Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has sought to establish that link not just to secure a conviction, but also to persuade the public of the significance of the case, which may be the only one for Trump prosecutions to reach trial this year. That's just one. So, I mean, this goes on and on and on and on. I mean, every time I turn on the TV, this guy's in court for something, and I'm just like, gee willikers, man, this is just out of control. Like, I don't know how he's going to be hitting the campaign trail if he's spending all this time in court and he's getting fined billions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars. He doesn't want to pay it. He's appealing it. And we can go on and on and on. So what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to pan over to the actual soundbite. And I want you to hear this And stay tuned. I want you to love the show. It's a great show. Thousands of people are listening. They're tuning in. And I only got one question for you, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready?
Donald Trump's former aide, communications director, and confidant, Hope Hicks, testified Friday at the former president's criminal trial in New York City. Hicks testified about the frenetic hours and days before and after the release of the infamous Access Hollywood tape a few weeks before Election Day in Donald Trump's campaign for the presidency. Now, on that tape, Trump could be heard bragging to host Billy Bush about grabbing women without their permission. Hicks said that she was very concerned about the tape. She had been approached by a Washington Post reporter hours before his story breaking the news of the tape was published. She said that it was a little stunning to her. She went to Donald Trump as he was preparing for an important debate with Hillary Clinton, his Democratic rival, and that they strategized on a response. She said that she felt this could be devastating to the presidential campaign. She testified that Trump was very concerned about how the news about these alleged affairs, the hush money payments, the Access Hollywood tape, how all of that would affect his wife, and that he didn't want anything that happened with his campaign to be embarrassing to her or to their family. Hicks's testimony about former First Lady Melania Trump and the Trump family was a powerful moment for the defense. Trump's lawyers contend that Michael Cohen and the National Enquirer made these hush money payments, one to former Playboy model Karen McDougal, and the Cohen payment of $130,000 to porn actress Stormy Daniels, that he did that on his own, that Trump was not involved. She recalled Trump telling her to convey a message to the Wall Street Journal as was reporting on this, that he denied any sexual encounters with either woman. The trial is off for the weekend. Testimony resumes on Monday.
In this video, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the you can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
What do you need?
Can you just go get her for me?
I'm really busy right now.
Can you bring me my chapstick?
No, Napoleon.
But my lips hurt real bad.
Just borrow some from the school nurse. I know she has like 5 sticks in her drawer.
I'm not gonna use hers, you sicko.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just bizarre, right? I mean, if you listen to the response, if you see what's going on, heck, I'm in trouble for not taking out the trash sometimes. I can imagine how Melania Trump must feel. All these sexual allegations going around. I mean, every time I've seen her walk next to Donald, I've never seen her happy. I mean, she looks like she's basically in agony and drenched in misery, and I really feel sorry for her. I just don't know how in America Donald has so much support with all of this happening right now. And it doesn't stop coming. Now, I get it. People are very unhappy with Joe Biden. They're happy over the abortion issue. They're unhappy over the taxes, the top 1%. They're unhappy with housing. They're unhappy with the economy. Basically about the reduction in job growth and the lack of hiring by employees. A lot of people are saying that inflation is real and we have been in a recession. And Biden denies that. He says we're not. He says we're thriving. He says we're moving straight ahead. He does have a lot of support from union members and basically middle-class workers. We're moving into a green energy economy. We're moving into a whole new threshold in America in the sense of it's going to be a new America when it comes to energy independence. Biden has basically reverted us back to where we are no longer energy independent. And, you get both sides saying things that basically the other one's lying. They're not telling the truth. And it's so hard to get through the muddy waters. There's just so much going in politics right now. it's just going to be very interesting to see what happens, what transpires in this election with Trump claiming presidential immunity because he's basically was a president of the United States. He can't be prosecuted for none of these crimes. To Joe Biden's health. There are people that think he has dementia, that he's being propped up, that he's not healthy enough to run the country. We are in a super fascinating, bizarre time in American politics. It's almost like it should be a Netflix special and we should just watch the comedy roll. I'm not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen. I've sat with my wife and I've heard the State of the Union and I've watched these presidential races and I said, get the popcorn out. And I put my big red nose on and my colored wig on, and I just laugh. I mean, it's better than Cat Williams a lot of the times and these other comedians out there, because it's just fascinating to watch them. It's just basically like stand-up comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have so much going on. We have so much to talk about here at the Patriot News Hour. We're already running past time constraints. I can't keep going even though I want to. I still have to talk about Biden. I still have to play sound clips on Biden. Basically what he's saying about the economy, why he should be chosen as president. I still got to get into Trump and basically him running. So ladies and gentlemen, it's going to get very interesting this year. So do me a favor, fill out your updated information so you're able to vote, because it's going to be a hell of a ride. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being with me here tonight in the Patriot News Hour. And I want to say God bless you all and God bless America.